I ain't even gonna lie. If you've been watching Dallas Cowboys football all season, the way that game against the Commanders just ended, you would have expected it. But the result of that game wasn't important, outside the fact that we did in fact lose in a competitive game in which we had the lead up until 2 seconds left in the game. But we learned a lot about this Dallas Cowboys team, is as far as what the Cowboys are thinking about, what they really think of some of these players based off of playing time that was given in this last game of the season, and just what direction they may go with some of these guys and exactly who these guys actually are. Let's get right into it, as we have some interesting things develop in this game. For one, we found out Trey Lance is very, 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 very far away from being able to be a consistent NFL starting quarterback. As of right now, he is in fact an NFL backup. No, he didn't turn the ball over, but he also had very, very routine throws that he was just unable to make. It looks like he has a lot of technique issues. It seems like he has problems processing what's going on the field, pre-snap and post-snap, which is why we see him trying to use his athleticism a little bit more than maybe what he should be using it, or he's just a step late on some of the things. Like, it was one situation in the fourth quarter where it was like a quarterback read option and he was just a step late and he went lateral before he went upfield, and that was the difference between getting the first down. There was at least 3 or 4 passes in that third and fourth quarter in which they were routine passes about 5 or 6 yards away, and he just completely overshot the guy. There was multiple situations when he tried to throw the ball downfield and he just didn't even give his receiver a chance to try to make a play inbounds. But I will say we have to kind of grade him on a curb here. He didn't have a real number one receiver in CeeDee Lamb. He essentially had a skeleton core of receivers because his best guy wasn't out there, which kind of pushed everyone else into an unnatural role. This was his first game of the season, so it's not like he's been starting all year long. We're seeing a guy who's had a rhythm of the offense. No, so we have to grade him on a curb. Overall, I think he did okay. He looked about like what I expected him to look like, if I'm being completely honest. 244 yards passing, 20 of 34 completions to attempts, no touchdowns, no interceptions, although there was a couple of times he should have had an interception, 58% completion percentage, and an 81 quarterback rating. I mean, Trey Lance, he was okay. Did he do enough to make the Cowboys confident in trying to pay him more money than they would have to pay a rookie quarterback that they drafted in the 5th, 6th round of this year's draft? Did he do enough to make you want to pay him $10 to $12 million per season to be your backup behind the guy that you're already paying $60 million to? Absolutely not. Go draft you a rookie. Let that rookie sit on the bench behind Dak. Go let Cooper Rush get his payday, especially since y'all just screwed him out of $250,000 today. The Joneses are ruthless. Exactly what we talked about yesterday. That's exactly what they did with this Trey Lance and Cooper Rush situation. They screwed Cooper Rush and Trey Lance over a little bit right here. And I say they screwed Trey Lance over because, again, he wasn't out there with the best weapons available to the team. So we really can't get a true valuation of what Trey Lance is. Who we can get a true valuation of, though, and I keep saying this, and I'm not trying to be hard on the dude, bro, but people keep wanting to argue this with me because they like the guy, and I like him too. Iceberg Ferg is my guy, but man, the false starts, the hands that are up and down, man, like his hands are not consistent at all. He's not giving you anything other than what an average NFL starting tight end would give you. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to lean into the guy. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't see all that big of a difference from a Luke Schoonmaker and a Jake Ferguson. And I'm just being completely real with y'all. Brandon Cooks, that experiment is time to end. We appreciate you, Brandon Cooks. We're glad you want to play for the Cowboys. Hopefully you had a good time here, but I'm over that experience. I'm ready to see some real legitimate receivers come to this Dallas Cowboys team. Kevontae Turpin, I really, really like the way that they're starting to use him in the latter half of the season. I think they kind of figured out exactly what they need to do with this gadget guy that they have in Turpin. I like him coming out of the backfield every now and then. And the way they were using him in the receiving game, I think that's more so his speed. A lot of smoke screens, a lot of quick screens, getting him the ball quick so he can go ahead and make plays with his playmaking ability with that speed. But outside of that, man, yeah, the offense was the offense. Tyler Guyton still struggled a little bit with the false starts and stuff. And It's just, I don't know. Let Trey Lance go try to find somewhere where he can compete for a starting job. Draft us a rookie. Rico Dowdle is cool, but by no means should we be comfortable with him being our running back one going into 2025. Draft Ashton Genty if he's there. If we can't get a Emeka Ibuka or somebody like that, draft Ashton Genty. Draft one of these running backs and to pair with a Rico Dowdle. I'm not saying just let Rico go, but to pair with a Rico, make Rico the two in a good 1-2 punch in that backfield, and go get us two new receivers, not just one. We need two new receivers. We need someone to replace Brandon Cooks, and we still need a real wide receiver too. Jalen Tolbert and those other guys, man, I'm sorry, they're not going to be anything more in my eyes than wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 at most. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that's just what it is, just based off of watching these dudes. And the defense, Micah got his 2 sacks. And outside of that, not much else was going. Nothing else was really noteworthy. DaRon Bland looks good coming back from his injury. I guess that is kind of noteworthy to say that. He does look good coming back from his injury. He's not getting burnt out there. Him and Terry McLaurin really went to war today in Dallas. So Terry McLaurin had 12 targets for only 8 receptions, 62 yards. He did get the touchdown to ice the game. But, I mean, DaRon Bland was right there with bro all game. So you can't really get mad about that one. The other thing we learned today is Mike Zimmer and his defense, man. This defense is really coming around for Mike Zimmer. I know we just lost the game and Washington put up, 23, 24 points, whatever it was. We lost the game. But had we really been trying to play to win this, we had CeeDee Lamb out there, we had our starting quarterback, we had our full host of defensive players, all this stuff. Had we really been trying to play to win out there, man, I think that this would have been a completely different game. I think Washington would have had a long day, and I think the Cowboys may have walked away with this one pretty handily. I think even if Cooper Rush had played today, even if Cooper Rush and CeeDee Lamb had played today, I think the Cowboys win this one by at least 2 scores, because that's just the way that the game looked. All those field goals, there were way too many opportunities that they had to cash them into touchdowns. One of them was just a completely blown drive where Mike McCarthy just called pass after pass after pass when the run game is what got him down there. Deuce Vaughn had some nice bursts coming out that backfield. To me, Deuce Vaughn was probably the most impressive running back in the backfield today, just with the burst and the acceleration he showed just coming out there. And it was a situation where he 100% disappeared behind the offensive line. So I don't know, man. Maybe Deuce FC is still alive, because maybe he's like a Kevontae Turpin. The Cowboys just really need an opportunity to figure out what to do with the guy. But just overall, I'm glad the season is over. We lost. We get a better draft pick out of it. We didn't ruin our draft position, at least. We potentially can get a better draft pick out of this game. And, yeah, this horrendous nightmare 2024 season has finally come to a close for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going to tell you, man, they got some work to do on the offensive side of the ball. Like, just en masse, they got some work to do. As far as the coaches go, I really want Mike Zimmer back, but I just don't know how that's going to work if Mike McCarthy doesn't come back. Although I am starting to think that Mike McCarthy is going to be back, just based off of some of the things we've been hearing and stuff. I'm starting to think that Mike McCarthy will be back, but we shall see. But either way, yeah, the season is over, man, and we still them same old sorry ass Cowboys this year. We got to add that little part on. We were sorry this year. 7-10, ugly, nasty word. Till next time.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.